Cooking with Kidz presents mac and cheese.
Yes.
Mac and cheese, stop and eat. Mac and cheese, stop and eat. Mac and cheese.
Okay. Hello again. So I keep looking over here and then over there. I don't know where I'm looking anymore. I look like a crazy person, although I am a little nuts. So we are making homemade baked mac and cheese. So easy to make. And there are so many different variations to this recipe. It is not even funny. I love homemade baked mac and cheese. I got turned off it when I was little because I had a family member that made it and I wasn't particularly crazy about it. But when I was in high school, my culinary teacher gave us a recipe for it, and I kind of was like, I'm going to tweak this a little bit. So that's what I do. I tweaked, not twerked, tweaked it a little bit because I can't twerk. I'm throwing my back out at my age.
I can twerk.
You are 7. You don't need to twerk. No twerking. None. It's not allowed in this house. Her father will slap her on the booty butt. So I already have my pasta cooked and drained. You can use the pastas that work the best for a really good baked mac and cheese. You have elbows. You can get the regular size, and they have them large, actually. I used the large elbows. Also, the small shells work great. You could even use, I like those too. But you can pretty much use whatever pasta you want within reason. Obviously, don't use spaghetti because, let's face it, you can't make a homemade baked mac and cheese with spaghetti. I mean, you could, but it'll be messy. So, I have in my baking pan our large elbow macaroni. Ooh, look at that. It's already cooked and drained. Now, in a big size saucepan, we're going to start making what's known as the bechamel sauce. And that will transform into the cheese sauce to go with our baked mac and cheese. So, here's what you're going to need for the starter of your bechamel. You're going to make something called a roux. And I don't mean the little kangaroo that went in Mama Kangaroo's pouch in Winnie and the Pooh. No, this is called a roux. R-O-U-X. Okay? What a roux... No, not the X is silent. Like in phone, it's not spelled with an F, it's spelled with a P-H. So, to make a roux, it's equal parts fat. So, butter. And equal parts flour. So, I'm going to do... And this is actually going to thicken the sauce. So, I have I'm using salted butter. Let me show you so you can... Okay, salted butter. I'm going to probably do about 4 tablespoons of butter because I did actually 1 pound of the large elbows. So I'm going to do 4 tablespoons of salted butter, and then I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of flour. I'm all excited about the butter. All right, so we're going to turn the heat on. There we go. Let's get started on our bechamel sauce. So, 4 tablespoons of butter going down.
Butter.
Now, whoa, almost lost my little tripod there. So, I know when you cook with kids, what kid does not like mac and cheese? I'm sure there are kids out there that don't. But, majority of them love mac and cheese.
It's sinking.
It's melting. Much like my figure. So, what we're going to do to make the mac and cheese, sort of get the kids their veggies with this, I'm going to use, I have these in my fridge. These are, I call them carrot chips. I want to put a handful of these in my food processor, chop them up fine. All right.
I'm our taste tester, guys.
So I need you to kick up your legs for Mama. There you go. We're going to So once your butter is melted, you could go ahead and add in the equal parts flour. I go through a lot of flour in this house. Let me tell you, between my baking and the mac and cheese.
Can I measure it?
Well, hang on, honey. What do I do? About 4, 1. If you're doing heaping, I would probably do about 2.5. All right, that's just about good. Well, let's just add a little skosh more. Okay, perfect. All right, my little helper. How do you put that back for me? Cinnamon, I'm going to trip over your little meaty bone. All right, let's clean that up a little bit. All right. So while that cooks down a little bit, and you do not want your butter and your flour to brown because that will actually give your mac and cheese, it'll make it darker, first of all. Second of all, if you let it cook too long, it's going to taste a little burnt. So I'm going to...
But how come it's already tasted? How come it's already looking brown?
No, it's not. It's because you mix the butter in with the flour. So at this point, we're going to reduce the heat down. Again, you don't want to burn your flour and your butter. So to this, we're going to add our milk. To this, we're going to add our milk. Okay. I seriously don't know how much to add. I just look at it and watch it. So we'll start with about, I'd say that looks like about 4 cups of milk. I'm using a whole milk. Because my youngest needs to start gaining weight. So, if you do not want to use whole milk, you can use skim milk. You can use cream, to be totally honest with you. That definitely is going to give it a much deeper flavor if you use cream. But if you're trying to watch the fat, obviously use milk. So, once this comes to a boil, which it will, I'm actually going to use a whisk for this because I want to evenly incorporate my roux with my milk. All right. So, we'll let that come to a boil. So while we wait for this to come to a boil, in our food processor, we are going to do the carrots.
Can I have?
Yes, you can have
And a
one.
taste tester.
Because you got to make sure those carrots taste good. Can you please? Thank you, babies. So, I'm going to use my little ninja. There we go. All right. I'm going to add about, there you go, you can have a nice big one. All right, nice big carrot chip. I'm going to add about a handful of the carrot chips. Nice good sized handful. Actually, let's do a handful and a half. Let's do a handful and a half. Let's just, you know what, let's just keep going to fill it. All right, that works. So, we're going to now you want to get this to where it's almost like a riced consistency. So go ahead and make my little love. Just a few seconds on there. Lift it up. Ah, that's perfect. I can already see it from here. I'm going to show you folks at home what I mean when I say rice. You could do this with carrots. You can do this with peppers. You can do this with cauliflower. It's very, very common. Do it with broccoli. You can do it with pretty much almost any vegetable within reason. So, this is what your riced carrots are going to look like. This is going to go into our cheese sauce. So, let's get that in there. All right, because as this heats up, the sweetness from the carrots is going to go right into the cheese sauce.
But why, you ask?
Why are we adding carrots? Because you kids need to eat more vegetables. Kids these days some kids these days just don't get enough vegetables in their system. And there's way too much junk food out there on the market. So this is a quick way to get your fussy child to eat some vegetables without them knowing it. Now, another vegetable that works great with this, I'm just using carrots because that's just what I happen to have, is cauliflower, believe it or not. Cauliflower works great in this recipe with the mac and cheese. Again, you will have to rice it. Again, ricing it, put it in the food processor. You're going to want to remove the core from it because that will just really make everything taste really bitter. All right.
You want bitter.
We do not want bitter.
Bad bitter.
Right. So, that is looking good. Let me show you all at home what we're dealing with here so you can see. I hope you all can just, okay, let me move
Looks like polka
this
dots
way.
a little.
So this is starting to gradually
It's turning
thicken.
pink.
It is not pink. It's like an orange color from the carrots. All right. So we've got that mixing up. All right. It's starting to thicken a little bit. You know, even though it looks a little runny, it's actually starting to very slowly thicken. So what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to show you what cheeses I use and what I find cheeses use best in this mac and cheese. So let's start with, I'm doing a mild cheddar. I should cover up the source, but mild cheddar, okay? I'm going to add probably about half a bag, All right, half the bag. Why am I adding half the bag of the mild cheddar? Well, you can always add more. Start off with less because you can gradually add more if you need to. All right, don't really need my whisk anymore. Okay, so of course, you know, they give you the section where you can tear off the bag so it's easy to open, and then you kind of ruin that part, and that just gets shot to crap. And then you got to create a hole, and then hopefully that doesn't get shot to poop. Let's see how we did. Oh, heck. Let's create one. Here we go. Ready? Boop. Oh, that's coming to a boil. That's beautiful. So we're going to add about half a bag. This bag is 8 ounces. So it's approximately 2 cups, obviously 1 cup of cheese. This is a mild cheddar. All right. We're going to get mixing on that. And Izzy's going to taste the cheese to make sure that it actually tastes like cheese. So I got 1 cup of cheddar cheese in there. Mild cheddar, actually. All right. Now you want to make sure as you add the cheese, you want to make sure you mix it after you add it. You want to evenly distribute. And then we're going to add 1 cup of mozzarella. Why am I adding 1 cup of mozzarella? This is a creamy cheese, very creamy, and honestly, I love that it just brings the milk flavor to a whole nother level. Here, try that one. Ooh, there you go. All right, mozzarella.
Yeah, are we having this tonight?
Yeah, this is gonna be for tonight. Oh, this is looking delicious.
And as you know,
Ooh. Now, as you've noticed, I haven't added any salt or pepper to this yet. We're almost there. So stay with me. So next, if you happen to have in your fridge, like I do, like a smooth cheese dip, all right, you can add, this is what gives it a creamy taste too. I'm going to add about half a cup. Okay, that might have been a cup. We'll just say half a cup.
Okay,
half a cup. Again,
test.
I never measure. I hardly ever measure anything unless I have to bake.
Hey, taste test.
Here, give me your tongue. Ready? Taste test. There you go. All right. I never really measure anything unless I have to bake. So for me to have to measure when I do a baked mac and cheese, it's hard. So we're gonna mix this up. All right. If your sauce becomes too thick, and it does happen, it can happen. It's, you know, you add a little bit more milk. All right. If your cheese is too runny, add a little bit more cheese. All right. So here we go. Ooh, can you see this? Oh, that cheesy goodness. Okay. And now I'm gonna add. Let's do salt and pepper. All right. So I'm going to get. Let's see. I'm gonna add. All right, here, you want to get your hand ready too? All right, you're going to want to season this to your liking, not to my liking, but to yours. So salt and pepper are going to be going in here. Here we go, ready? Now, it's funny, my mother tells me she hates baked mac and cheese, hates it. Now, when I make it, she eats it. Go figure. All right.
It's actually baked.
So, we will be baking this, yes. My pepper, well, I'm going to use some fresh cracked black pepper. I'm just going to add a couple turns of it because I don't want to add too much pepper because little mouths will be eating this. Yes, go right ahead. So while she's mixing that, I'm going to actually clean my food processor because we're going to need it for our topping. All right, our topping is going to be something different. So, get this ready. I probably took the plate out. Yes, I did. All right. Now, if you want it a little bit more saucy, when I say saucy, I mean like a little bit more thin if you think it's too thick. Again, just add a little bit more milk. I'm thinking I might add a little bit more milk because when it bakes, you want this to bake into your pasta. I hate the word macaroni. I don't know what it is, but I can't. It just drives me bananas.
Bananas and a banana monkey butt.
Yeah, she's still sleeping, thank goodness. It's actually early in the morning here, so we're kind of just prepping everything for dinner for later. Alrighty. So, and I'll just wash this really quick. Food processor is almost clean for our topping. Perfect. So now, actually I'm just going to add a little bit, just a skosh more. Love my measurements. Skosh means a little bit more. There we go. Just a spludge more. Say spludge, skosh. Keep up with the vocabulary, people. There's not going to be a quiz on it later. Okay. You did good. So before you put your cheese sauce into your macaroni pan, baking dish, you're going to want to taste it. There you go. There, you want to get those, boo? Okay, taste it. Make sure it's flavorful enough. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of adobo. Again, my go-to seasoning for just about everything. I'm going to add some sprinkles of this in there. Honestly, if you want me to tell you how much, I'm probably doing about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of adobo. All right. This is going to be a kick-butt mac and cheese. Now, I actually know someone, believe it or not, I know people, who actually is lactose intolerant. So, you know, for her to have mac and cheese, it's obviously hard. They do sell lactose-free cheese. You have to get it at a health food store or Whole Foods for your cheese. And you can actually make a really good bechamel even without using milk. You can do almond milk. Make sure it's unsweetened, of course. And you see allergies. And you can even use cashew milk, but again, unsweetened. So yeah, you may try one. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to create the topping for our cheese sauce, for our mac and cheese. I am using French fried onions. These are so good. I am actually, this is 6 ounces.
I normally don't like onions, but I like them fried.
Yeah, these ones are so good. So this is going to go into our food processor. All right, the whole can. All right, I'm going to transfer this to stay right there. So there's our food processor. I'm going to put the whole can right in there. All right, we're going to pray for the best with this one, okay? Let's see. Going to find the top. Here we go. Smush it all down. All right. Go ahead, my little one. Well, is it not working? Okay, I added way too much. Well, we just got to take some out. It happens. I get a little excited. What can I tell you? We're going to have to do this in separate things. So here we go. Yeah, you can have some. They fall out. These are so good. The dog's going to have a little too. It's fine. Here we go. We're good. I know we can get this one done. All right. Here we go. The one on top. Oh, those are good. All right. And she's going to pull it. A little bit more. Yeah, you go. So you want this like breadcrumb consistency. And you want to make sure that every piece is pretty much pulverized. So I'm going to pour my cheese sauce into my baking dish. Because this is done. D-O-N-E, done.
I know how to stop.
Let's pour that right over the top there. Ooh, it smells so good.
I can't smell anything.
I know. Mommy can only smell a little. These allergies this year. I'm telling you. Alrighty.
Am I allergic to pollen?
Pretty much, yes, baby. Alright. So, we're going to mix our elbows into the cheese sauce. Alright. We're mixing in, we're mixing in, we're mixing in, we're mixing. I personally like to do this job only because the cheese sauce is very, very hot and I do not want to burn my child or my children for that matter. So,
or daddy.
Yeah. So I don't mind doing this. That's why I'm wearing my protective gear. My apron.
So am I.
I know. But what if it gets on your arm? See, if it gets on my arm, I'm good. But if it gets on your arm, Mommy would be very, very sad. Okay. Some other vegetables that actually work really good in a baked mac and cheese is tomatoes. So you could add tomatoes in here, bell peppers. I do a really good southwestern mac and cheese with beans, peppers, tomatoes, and it's good stuff. So now, I've taken my spoon, I've kind of made it sort of a smooth landscape here. All right. We're going to sprinkle some of the You know,
No.
we're going to sprinkle the onion toppings right on top of our mac and cheese. All right, take out the blade. All right, just sort of sprinkle it. All righty. Now, if you are trying to watch your weight or your cholesterol, this is not, you can substitute this for some reduced fat butter and breadcrumbs. Works just as good. I prefer this one because personally, you don't get a figure like I do without cooking the way that I do. We're going to add the rest of our fried onions. Okay, and my lovely little assistant. And keep going. A little bit more. There you go. All right, she's so good at that. Woo! Almost had to leap. Okay, so sort of, and you just want to do a thin layer. This doesn't need to be a thick layer. All right. So we're just gonna sprinkle right over the top. Get your hands in there, just sprinkle it.
I don't get that my hands dirty.
You can wash the dishes. That'll get your hands dirty.
I clean the sink.
Yeah.
I do a really good job.
Yes, you do. You really do. All right, so.
I do.
All right, so just spread that out on the top there. I'm gonna give my hands a quick wash. All right, so our mac and cheese, we're gonna cover with foil. All right.
Foil.
Aluminum foil. Yes.
Foil. Foil, foil, foil.
Okay, apparently somebody decided to use mine as aluminum foil and make a mess of it. All right. We'll do this in 2 different segments here. Two different pieces. Now this is going to go, the baked mac and cheese is going to go in the oven, 375 for about 20 to 25 minutes. Do the first 10 minutes with the foil on, and then the other 10 to 15 minutes with the foil off. All right, again, this is going to go in the oven at 375 for about 20 to 25 minutes. All right, so that concludes our Cooking with Kids segment on baked mac and cheese. Because mac and cheese,
Slap the knees.
back and cheese, slap the knees. Mac and cheese, slap the bees. Okay, don't slap the bees because apparently there's like, they're almost extinct. And we need the honey. Then we have allergies like we have. So thank you for watching Cooking with Kids, mac and cheese. This is just sort of the basic. Again, you could get your kids, obviously get them involved in cooking and helping you in the kitchen. Not washing the dishes.
Or clean the sink.
Or cleaning the sink. Get them involved. Get their hands messy a little bit. But be careful. Obviously, don't let them mix the cheese sauce because you don't want to burn them. Because that is very, very hot. That can cause a really bad burn. And again, with the vegetable that you can mix in with the mac and cheese, you don't have to do the riced carrots. You can do riced cauliflower. That's another one that works great. You can even add tomatoes in there. Rinse them off, cut them in half, put them in there. And they kind of dissolve a little bit. They kind of melt into the mac and cheese. So that's another good vegetable to add into that. I have loads of recipes for mac and cheese, different variations of it, and we'll get into that later on. So thank you for watching Cooking with Kids. This is Isabella. I call her Izzy. And I'm Trisha. Thank you for watching.
Mommy.
Thank you for watching Cooking with Kids.
Bye.
God bless.